Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. It is a special broadcast time at 8 p.m. and I have today the pleasure of company of Sri V Mohandas Pai. He needs no introduction. He has been on several hangouts with us. So let's welcome our guest of the evening, Sri V Mohandas Pai. Mohandas Pai, namaskara and welcome to PGurus channel.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. It's always a pleasure and honor to have you on our channel. Mohandas ji, today I want to bring your attention to the secular bill or law that has been passed in the Karnataka Assembly which basically prohibits unlawful conversions from one religion to another by misrepresentation, force, undue influence, coercion, allurement, or by any fraudulent means. This is what is in this bill. As I see it, Mohandas ji, I think it is a very secular bill because it is not picking one religion. It is saying anything to anything. How do you see this thing? And I believe, and you can set me right if I'm wrong, this was actually introduced in some form in the previous Congress government and it has just been tweaked and passed as law. Your thoughts, sir?
You know, Sri, there is a major menace that society in India is facing with a huge amount of money coming from evangelicals in America, Europe, and parts of Asia, especially Hong Kong and Korea. They're pouring in money to convert poor people, abusing other faiths, calling others devil worshippers, telling people they'll not go to heaven unless they convert, and generally having paid people to market for souls. And this is happening in a big way. You can see it in Andhra Pradesh, your state. Go around, you can see the number of pastors. And you can see it in Tamil Nadu. Walk around and you'll see it. North Karnataka, you'll see it. In Punjab, you'll see it. Go to the portal on Twitter, no conversion. You'll get videos, you'll get everything. You can Google and find out. You can get so much of data. So many things is happening. So a lot of money is coming in. And the law was always there that conversion by force, allurement, coercion is not legal. But the law was very ineffective because it was spread across several sections of the Indian Penal Code and the criminal law. Now, what the government has done is to consolidate all that into one law, which says very clearly that illegal conversions by fraud, allurement, coercion, etc., from any faith to any faith, mark the words, any faith to any faith, will be liable for criminal prosecution. So this is a very secular law meant to protect people, because please remember, the Constitution says under Article 25 and 26, everybody is free to profess, preach, and propagate their religion. So we got freedom of religion, and nobody is debating that. But freedom to profess, to preach and propagate religion doesn't mean that you have the freedom to convert other people. That is not there. The Supreme Court has said it very clearly. You can't force your views and convert other people. But I can convert to any faith that I want at any time of my choosing, and nobody can prevent that. And this law does nothing to take away my rights. All the law says is what the Constitution says, what the Supreme Court has said, that if you go to convert people, and if you do it illegally by inducement, coercion, using money, etc., it will be deemed to be a transgression of law and you will be prosecuted. Well, this is a very secular law which has been now passed by the Karnataka legislature, and this has been done for a very important reason. We've seen a massive increase in the flow of money coming in over the last 15 years. See, you can research yourself and see for the last 10 years, the total number of money that has come in to NGOs in this country. See all the names each year for the last 10 years. You'll find out all evangelical groups. And the evangelicals in America have something called Project Joshua. Project Joshua. You can go and search. And they're very clear. They got a project report, how to convert people, which community to target, where to target, communication, all kind of stuff. And they all got something called church planting. Church planting. They say every village you must go plant a church, blah, blah, blah. They're collecting money openly. They're writing on their webpage openly. So many people have been converted. They got orphanages where they convert younger people, children who don't know anything. They do all kind of rubbish, and they've been doing illegal things for years. And this has been going on for years, and there has been tension in society. How the government has been forced to bring in a law for social peace to make sure such illegal activities does not happen. Now, if you as a Hindu try to convert somebody who is a Muslim, you'll also be liable. It's not that it's for any religion. It is for any religion. And it applies across the board to everybody. And then it's very important for us to understand that money is being coming in. Now, Sri, I was not a person who was very familiar with all this till the evangelicals came to a member of my family, a very senior person, 1 degree separated from me, when they were in hospital, in the mission hospital. They came and told them, your bill has gone up and we'll pay the bill, you convert. They said, no, we don't want any money, we can afford to pay. Then they came back and said they'll pray for them. They said, okay, they prayed. Then they said, convert or you'll not go to heaven. They asked why. They said, you'll go to hell because you're not a Christian. Now imagine you are in hospital, you're not in good shape, and your age, and these people come and say, if you don't convert, you'll go to hell. Now, is it not coercion? It happens in mission hospitals. A very eminent citizen of Bangalore told me that a Hindu priest in a big hospital on the way to Electronic City, I don't want to name that, was told that his daughter had cancer and the treatment cost so much money. He had no money. Immediately, evangelicals came and said, you convert and we'll pay the money. And this fellow, this priest was very, very reluctant. But he said later, after 1 or 2 days, when he found his daughter is serious and requires help, and the hospital are not willing to help unless money was paid, said, I'll convert. What does it matter if I become Abraham instead of so-and-so, so long as my daughter's life is saved? Sadly, the daughter died. Immediately thereafter, I don't know what happened. It is there. And also, in my own family, when they were staying in a place on the way to the airport, people used to come to their house to talk to them, and like good people, they called them inside, gave them tea and coffee. After 2 or 3 meetings, the woman came and said, come and meet the pastor. Said, why? No, come and meet the pastor. The pastor wants to talk to you, bless you, give you the good news. They said, we don't want any good news. We got enough good news. And they were forced to call the police, or threatened to call the police to kick them out. So they're using money to market for souls. They're hiding people with salaries. They're hiding people with targets. They're doing a marketing operation. And remember, when John Paul II or somebody came 20 years ago to India, he spoke about the 21st century as being a century where Asia will have a harvest of souls. Please remember all this. I think all this is happening in a big place. And you want to see the impact, you see the pastor-based government in Andhra Pradesh. The new government, if you look at what they have done in the last 3 years, they have given a lot of money to pastors. They're creating focus for them. They are helping them convert. The police is looking the other way. You know it in your state, Sri. So I think Karnataka has done the right thing by bringing in this law. Hopefully they'll implement the law properly. They'll protect people. But somebody wants to convert because they want to convert, there is no bar. Nobody can prevent that.
So there are 2 or 3 things that is being exploited here. First of all, there is this law that protects the scheduled caste members. Now, when the scheduled caste members convert to Christianity, so they are leaving some sort of a dual life. From Monday through Friday, they are scheduled caste people, but for Saturday and Sunday, or perhaps only Sunday, they are Christians because they go to church. Now, the problem with this kind of a situation is that when Hindu forces, community organizations such as Shiva Shakti went to church-run schools and tried to distribute copies of the Gita, then they used this Scheduled Caste Act to have the volunteers arrested. One of the volunteers happened to be a government employee. They complained against him, and that person ended up losing his job. All this for pointing out or giving or doing what these groups do to Hindus. You go to any bus station, you go to any train station, you go to any place where there's a gathering of people, you have these people badgering you. They have books and books, they have bags, they're talking to you, they are saying, there are instances where Mohandas Pai that there is a whole bus of 600 people coming in 10 buses. They come and land in a village. The idea is to go door to door, door to door, door to door, and try to convert the entire village into Christianity. This is something that is happening a lot in the rural areas. Now, coming back to the Andhra Pradesh government, there was a new appointment that Jagan Mohan Reddy did when he became chief minister, and that was supposed to be called as a village volunteer officer. 5,000 village volunteer officers, or some number of that nature. 15,000 salary per month. It's a pretty decent salary, I can tell you. 15,000 rupees a month is a pretty decent salary, especially in rural areas. All of them, coincidentally, happen to be Christians. So this kinds of stuff that is being done is highly questionable. If somebody wants to, on their own will, want to convert, there is no problem. But see, what also I've heard, Mohandas Pai, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, these are stories from people who have come back to Hinduism. They said that first they will catch one person, they'll convert that person gets paid like 15,000 or 5,000 per head, depending on the area. Then they convert the family members because they see everybody gets 5,000. You don't need to do anything. Initially, that's how it is. 5, let's say 4 people, 20,000 a month, money just coming into your bank account, or money just coming into you. They won't pay it in the bank, of course. Then what happens is slowly the screws start getting turned. They say, why are you not coming to church? If you don't go to the church, you are dealt with very, very severely. Then once you go to the church, after 3 months, 6 months, they start asking, who else in your family can you convert? So there is a relentless pressure to keep on growing their flock, because they know that they have tasted blood. With one relative, they've got the blood, then just keep on going. I'm hopeful that this law that Karnataka has passed also closes this loophole of the crypto Christians, which is, what I said, Monday through Friday, I'm a scheduled caste, but on Sunday, I am a Christian. So what happens in these kind of situations is that they wanting to have the best of both, want to eat the cake and have it too. Because under Indian law, scheduled caste will lose their benefits if they convert to Christianity. Scheduled tribes do not. So that is a right place for them to go and convert. But Mohandas Pai, the big challenge here is census numbers don't seem to project the real number of the Christians in India. And how does one get the actual number? How does any law make sure that if somebody has actually converted, that it is accurately portrayed? Do you have any ideas, sir?
Well, Sri, let me start answering from what you said. First of all, the Andhra Pradesh government is officially patronizing these pastors. I think people of Andhra Pradesh should go to court. I hope all of you collect money to fund lawyers to go to court and challenge that 5,000 volunteers, because this is openly done. Many of the government officials have been converted and they are openly patronizing. Ministers go to all these pastors. They openly do all this, and the government is complicit. And if you go complain to the police and other, they will not protect you because they're all part of the same gang. And I think this is very dangerous in Andhra Pradesh, because there is no separation of religion and the government, which is promised to us in the constitution. And there are multiple abuses. Even in Tirupati, there were reports in the media of people trying to preach Christianity by these pastors and abusing people who are on the 7 hills. They've gone to such extent. In YSR's regime, there were reports in the media that he was about to give one of the hills to some pastor denomination. So money is coming in. True. And a lot of money is to buy the souls. Now let me talk about this, and then I'll come to the censors. There is an article written by John Dayal. You must have heard of John Dayal, arch evangelist in Delhi. He comes on TV and all that. And he's the one reportedly who went to the US Congress many years ago to give evidence against India to say that Christians are persecuted. He is the one also who was part of the, I think I'm told as per media, World Council of Churches, went to Durban many years ago to say caste is equal to race. So he's the same like that shepherd in Andhra Pradesh. You know the shepherd there? The shepherd also, I think, went to that place. They're all been,
Ila Kanchaya.
The money is a lubricant. He wrote an article in 11/4/2014, not now, 2014, in something called BPB, Germany. Must be one of the organizations that gives him money. And he answered this question. He said, there are communities, especially in the state of Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Punjab, and Tamil Nadu, who avoid registering themselves officially in such an order to continue taking advantage of government affirmative action program that include reservation, academic institutions, civil service, and legislature. Official conversion to Christianity should make them ineligible under Article 341(3) of the Constitution, which holds only such affirmative action for Hindus, Sikhs, and Buddhists. This law has been challenged twice, Supreme Court, which upheld it, but 5 years ago reopened hearings because all these guys went and said, oh, we must reopen it now. You know how the Supreme Court reopens sometime. So now, I think what people must do is to form social groups to expose them. They would have changed the names. There'll be photographs of them going to all these pastor churches. So they must collect all the evidence, file petitions against them. I think there is a legal group which is doing that. In fact, today morning I read in the New York Times an article where the local New York Times correspondent in Bangalore, one Indian, one American, who write very fake narratives, exaggerate everything, gave full details of all the pastors, where they're converting, what they're converting, how they're converting, etc. And also quoted pastors to say some of them have stopped converting. They've been converting. And they give you the name, they give you everything, what they're doing, and saying that people are opposing, people are threatening, people are doing this and all that, without talking about the fact that these are all illegal conversions, etc. And I think it's important. Now, as far the census goes, John Dayal says, the official census is therefore not the best guide to the number of Christians in India. He says that. All right. And then he says that, statistician Todd Johnson and Kenneth Ross estimate India's Christians constitute 4.8% of the population at 58 million. I think the census says 31 million. Then he says a figure accepted by some academicians such as Chad Bowman, Vice President of Society for Hindu-Christian Studies in the United States. Jason Mandick put the figure even higher at 71 million, or 5.84%. This is John Dayal talking about it openly, writing articles. Now, they're not registering because under the law, you can give any religion you want. There is no verification. And when you convert, you don't have to go register anywhere. You don't have to do anything. They don't do that. They change the name. They openly do it. And then they remain in government service. So if you look at all these people who change the names, so crypto Christians or who are converted, who have been baptized, and all the photographs available, and see where they are, locate them and file criminal complaints against them in the court, you will be done. I think you people in US and others who are concerned for this country and from Andhra Pradesh should collect money and form a group and work with these legal people to do that, because this has to be challenged. This is a big fraud on genuine taxpayers of India. We all pay our taxes. We want the taxes to go to people who are in need as per the Constitution. We don't want our taxes to give benefits to all these fakes who convert for allurement or other reasons and then claim that they are persecuted. Just the other day, Sri, I was on a TV debate where the Archbishop of Bangalore was there because he's taken a very public stand against this. And a lawyer, Colin Gonsalves from Delhi, who supposedly runs a large collective group. I don't know where these people get funding from, but there's something you must see and what causes the expose. And the Archbishop was saying that the law is unjust. Why do we need it? Because enough laws, illegal conversion is not happening. I told the Archbishop that the Catholic Church is not doing illegal conversion. The Catholic Church is doing very less conversion. The Jesuits are not doing it. They're all good people. The Church of North India and South India, the old Anglican Church, are not doing it. It is the pastors group, the new evangelicals, that are doing it. And a Christian friend of mine said that the new evangelicals are going beyond the Catholics to convert to their church. Even the Catholic Church is losing its flock. But the Catholic Church stands up to say and oppose and has candlelight marches, etc., to say we are being persecuted, we are doing this and that, when they are not, doing illegal conversion. If somebody is not doing illegal conversion, why should they bother? See, if robbery is a crime, can you protest and say, don't bring a crime against robbery? Because if you're not a robber, why are you bothered? If you're not committing a crime, if there's a law against the crime, why are you bothered? And as far as no need for a special law, remember there's a Dowry Act. And the Dowry Act says a complaint by a woman who is married against anybody against dowry is sufficient evidence. But the law earlier also provided for such prosecution. Why did the Parliament bring a Dowry Act? Because the old law was ineffective. So whatever is there in the earlier law is ineffective because it's a general law. It can be used anywhere. These are very specific laws, and specific laws for specific circumstances are important. And like I said earlier, the census figure does not carry all this. And Sri, you can look at the census figures for Christians in Andhra Pradesh, and you go around and watch. I mean, people say 20-25% of Andhra Pradesh is converted by these pastors. You can go and see.
Yes.
But the official figure will be 3 to 4%. Can anybody deny there are conversions? And if the conversions, they're legitimately done, people convert to the one violation, why are they bothered? Why are they scared about any process? And last point, Sri, the lawyer said, why are there no FIRs? If people are illegally converted, people have been illegally converted, file FIRs. Good point. Then he said, there are not many FIRs. I have not seen many. There are FIRs. I am asked a data analyst to search the entire database to find out how many FIRs have been filed. I hope to get the data. I'll send it to you and I will tweet. Just to say so many FIRs alleging illegal conversion have been filed in the courts in India. And they're all there. The data is there. And Lutyens Delhi and everybody is fighting this saying, show me illegal conversion, show me the census figures, knowing very well that, this is a state of affairs. And the last point, Sri, you see, Sri, I'm educated in a Jesuit school and a Jesuit college. The Jesuit fathers have been very good people. They never tried to convert me. I stand by them. And I help them a lot. I will support them because they're good people. They're doing good work. But what these Lutyens media do is they take the side of the Catholic Church and all. And the Catholic Church is not doing illegal conversions. The Jesuits are not doing it. So why are they bothered? But then they turn to Catholic and say, oh, this Archbishop is saying this. So how can he be, when he's saying he's there being, then Archbishop is not the problem. It's the pastors who are the problem. It's the pastors who are doing it. That's why, Sri, on your show, you must get one of these big pastors like Anil Kumar or somebody, supposed to be the brother-in-law of son-in-law of ISR or somebody on your TV show, and have a big show and ask him, how are you doing conversion? Where is the source of funding? How much you're going to put him on your show? Ask him the question. That's what I told one of the TV anchors. Why don't you call the pastors instead of calling the Archbishop and ask them, how are you converting? Where are you converting? How many have you converted? Where do you get money? Ask them. I'm sure they'll boast and tell you the truth.
And I will. And by this video, I'm inviting Brother Anil Kumar. I'm told that he was a Hindu. He was actually a Brahmin before he converted to Christianity. I'm sure he has read some stuff about what Sanatana Dharma is. I'll be able to ask him, so what is it that you found wanting in Sanatana Dharma that drove you to, become a Christian?
Panam. Panam and power.
Well, that on the fact that he was marrying the then chief minister's daughter, perhaps, I don't know. I'm just being funny here. But seriously, Brother Anil Kumar, you are a brother. You were a Sanatani at one point. I still think that there is some, we have to, let's have a discussion. You can tell me what it is that you found in Christianity that you found lacking in Sanatana Dharma. And if you really, convinced, that's fine. But at least come and tell us where you're getting the funding. Because I was told, Mohandas Pai, I was told that the FCRAs have been more or less banned by the Modi government and that influx of money is much harder now. Is it not true?
No, it is true because the Modi government has banned many of them for precisely the purpose that did not submit accounts. Many NGOs are protesting, oh, Modi is going after them. All the Modi government did was, as per the terms of the FCNRA, you're supposed to give accounts. You're not filed the audited account showing how the use of money is. Go file the account. They didn't file the accounts. And then they're crying, oh, you shut us down. They went to US senators and tried to force the Indian ambassador there to intercede on their behalf. You remember that? They did all the pressure on the Modi government. Let them file their account. Let them go to the process. Many people have got approval. What is wrong with it? They can do. And just 2 days back, I read a note, I think, in Parliament that government confirmed that they got complaints against certain NGOs in Andhra Pradesh who have taken this money and are using it for conversion. So I think they confirmed. They're the news item some 2-3 days back, and I tweeted that too. That is there. So money is coming in. Now, of course, the money has stopped. Money has stopped. But Sri, remember, just like amnesty, which found that you're not able to get money from amnesty to FCNRA, what amnesty did was to give money for a consulting assignment to one of some other company and bill them for consulting and use it for their activities. So we don't know whether money is coming through other channels. We don't know. Somebody has to investigate. Somebody has to find out. So it can be found out if there are people on the ground who identify these pastors, follow them, track them, and find out where the money is coming from, get all the details, create an intelligence system through action on the ground, and put it in the common portal, collect all the electronic evidence, and people like you can show it on media.
Absolutely. I'll be happy to do that. Mohandas Pai, now, the bigger challenge now is that, like you said, that when they admit you in hospitals, they are coming and trying to say that, you will get cured if you convert to Christianity. The problem has also permeated to some of the educational institutions.
Yes.
If somebody wears a vibhuti and comes to school, they try to penalize that kid. If somebody wears flowers in their hair, that is also being looked down upon. So these are all subtle ways to try and tell somebody you are not measuring up to the mark. So as an educator, it's a business. Mohandas ji, it's a business. So are these people, why are they shooting themselves in the foot by first wanting as many children as possible and then telling them that this is wrong, this is right? I mean, I'm trying to understand what is their business model here.
Sri, the business model is very simple. They get money from outsiders, from the US and from the church organizations in Europe and in Asia. Then they use it to plant churches because they got a mission. The people in America do this to collect money, to show to all the good Christians that you are obliged under the Bible to save the world. It is the same white man's burden, right? It's the white man's burden. You got to give the good news to everybody. You got to save them from going to hell. They should go to heaven. Only Christians go to heaven. They have to be baptized. So, you must give your money to save the world. They're all good souls. They feel we got to do good to the world, and they take money from them. So these people collect money. They retain something for themselves and make a business and have a good living. Then they send the money here. Then they get fake reports. In a TV channel, one of the fathers from the Methodist Church was there. He said very clearly, the news about all this conversion is exaggerated. Same set of 10 are converted, they put 50 and try to get more money. He admitted that. So they try to do it as a business. But see, the bigger point is, after they get converted after some time, after 1 year, 2 years, when they're stuck, then they tell them, you must give 5%, 10% of your money monthly to the church.
Yes.
It becomes a roll call. You understand? It's a revenue model. The revenue model is there. Then they told them, whatever you earn, you must give it to the church. You must give it to us. Like in the US, remember, they pass around the hat after every session. They collect money. They market books. They force them to buy things. Remember, the franchising and all that. The same model. So it becomes a regular business. And then then gets into politics. It gets into politics because then they force all these people to vote for somebody they like, and then it becomes the nexus of the politician. It's a quid pro quo. You understand what it is? Then they get government grants, they get this and that. See, it is a very close nexus because they're evangelists, they're aggressive. The Sanatanis are very good people. They're not aggressive. See, the Sanatanis and all of us believe every individual has a right to his own path, own journey, because like Sri Krishna says in the Gita, all paths lead to me. Because Sanatana Dharma was born or happened at a time when there are no other religions. So all paths burn to me, and everything, Sanatana Dharma, atheist, non-believer, disbeliever, everybody is part of the same group. Because that's what Sri Krishna says, all paths lead to me. But these evangelical faith says, my God is the only God. My book is the only book. Only if you follow my God, accept my God and my book, you'll go to heaven. Otherwise, you'll go to hell in purgatory, you'll boil. See, none of them are gone to hell or heaven and come back to tell us what it is. None of the jihadis who promise rewards for blowing themselves up have ever come back from wherever they've gone to after they die to tell us how it is. None of the Maulanas or the Mullahs who say, in heaven there is wine, there is this, how is, whatever they say, tell people. They have never gone there and come back to tell us what. There is no heaven, there is no hell. All this is the creation of the human mind. But they prey on these people because people are scared. People are sometimes very fearful, and they do fear mongering, and they do fake narratives, and they do that. Then, Sri, you watch many of the videos of fake curing. Remember, curing. They rig up the whole system. Even for Mother Teresa, they had to find two miracles. They found a woman who said, oh, I had a tumor in my stomach. Then I prayed to Mother Teresa and it went away. Now, I read a report which said, after the miracle was certified by an archbishop or somebody, that woman disappeared. She was never found again. People try to find out what it is. So it's all rigged up. All these are rigged up for they cannot be miracles. If they're miracles, why will people go to a hospital? There's a guy called Benny Hins or something. He came to Bangalore in the Jakkur airbase, had a huge program. Our Karnataka politicians went there. Huge program. You can ask Sri. He'll tell you about it. And we had a big healing program where we get women who are screaming and dancing. He said, I will remove the devil from you. And women who were this, were saying, I got pain, and remove them. Remember, these are all fakes. It's happening today on TV. It's happening in the Punjab. It's happening everywhere. Healing. I mean, when you are in deep trouble, they say healing, and you convert and healing. These are the same miracles. Remember the old story about they're going to a tribal place to show what the religion is. They take a wooden cross and keep it on water, it floats. They take a metal murti, put it there and it sinks. Say, your God is sinking. My God is floating. I mean, this kind of rubbish. You understand? They're doing it because there are people who are very, very innocent, very naive, and they believe all these things, and there is nobody else to counter them. So I think it's very important that people in this country stand up for the truth, stand up for a civil society, and protest against these abuses and expose all these people. About 5-6 years ago, Sri, there were billboards in Bangalore talking about people converting, how they got the good news, this and that. Billboards. They're spending money on billboards. And they're going home to home. Yes, the money has been cut, so it has stopped. It's all a flow of money done by outside evangelicals. Then it becomes a power center. Look at the northeast of India. Nehru shut down the northeast of India, but opened up Verrier Elwin and others to go there. So the Baptist church is very powerful. Much of the insurgencies is financed by the church people. And they tell the government of India to come to the US to negotiate and talk to them. So it's all become a power center. And the Northeast, there are newspaper reporters say, if a Hindu dies, they will not allow them to bury there. I mean, cremate there. They say, you can't cremate, this is our land. And they openly say, Nagaland for Christ. What is this? Can you say Karnataka for so-and-so? You can't say that, right? Nagaland for Christ. That is the official position because they converted most of the people. You go to the Northeast and see what they do. So that is the end state. The end state is the theocracy controlled by these Baptists or other evangelical churches. That is the end state.
So today, if I have to summarize, the South is in real trouble because you have Kerala being run by Islam, you have Andhra being run by Christianity, and I want to point out something that was really, really funny that is happening in Tamil Nadu. There was a pastor who 6 months ago or something made a very rash statement at the newly appointed or anointed government of Tamil Nadu, which is the DMK. They said, it is our arms. We gave you arms, ALMS, pichai. We gave you pichai. That is how you came to power, and you have not taken care of our needs. One of the things, there was a YouTuber by the name of M. Maridas. Now, Maridas has systematically figured out where the source of the funding was for many of these churches, and it happened to be some small, very, very small, very difficult to find place in Virginia, a church there, which was actually doing all the manipulation. They knew exactly, like you said, which area, which way, how to do this thing, all this stuff. And they were after him. You know what happened, Mohandas Pai? About 3 weeks ago, this guy got arrested, and they have been putting FIR after FIR. Now he's on the third one now. I think today he got the bail on the third one. The first FIR and the second FIR have been quashed. Okay, so the point here is that they want to show him the pain of his truthful ways. He's been attacking DMK, but everything is data based. He doesn't. So they couldn't go after him on a defamation, saying that he lied. He's got all the data, but what they did was that they just put him through the ringer to say, if you're a right winger, this is how we are going to treat you. This was a third person, by the way. There was a guy called Kalyana Raman who's a BJP member. He's still, I don't know if he's released today, he may have got bail. Then there is another guy called Kishore Swami, who was not a BJP member, but he was a right-wing thought guy. 6 months thrown under the Gundas Act. Only today, the judge said, they quashed that thing. So he can actually potentially get released tomorrow unless they find some other thing to keep him. And the third was Maridas. I can count with my fingers how many more right-winger bloggers are there in Tamil Nadu. So see, the thing is, they are all trying to stifle anything other than what they want to narrate. If you look at the media, DMK has a vice-like grip. What DMK doesn't have, some of these church institutions and some of the Muslim institutions have it. So between them, they've got the complete thing divided. No other voice. You take any channel, this is what it is. So India has all these challenges. Like you said, Northeast is a challenge of its own. How is one to govern all these things? For one other big fear I have, or concern I have, Mohandas Pai, is whatever is being taught in the madrasas. If you treat that as a school, then I have very big concerns. What will happen 10, 15 years down the road?
No, Sri, we have a major challenge. Hindus have been complacent, Sanatanis have been complacent. The country, large part of the country is being taken over by this radical. You know what is happening in West Bengal? In West Bengal, the government is officially pandering to the illegal Bangladeshis and others who are Muslims. And many of them in the extremist positions. In some villages, Durga Puja was banned. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Why? It will hurt the sentiments of people. See, unless all of us come together, the 110 crore Hindus come together, we fund our lawyers to go file cases, use the law, and show what we can do in return, they will not back down because they are on the hunt. They are aggressive. They're going after you. And if you sit quiet, they will overtake you. It is time to stand up for the Constitution, stand up for freedom of expression, the freedom of religion. Freedom of religion doesn't mean freedom of religion somebody else. Our freedom too is hurt. Now, I don't want to listen to anybody preaching to me. Why should I listen? I'm not interested in interfering in the religion of anybody else. I respect all religions. Sri, I must tell you this. I've been to 150 churches all over the world and prayed for everybody. I've been to the Vatican 4 times to pray for everybody. I've been to 13 mosques outside, prayed everybody, not inside. Outside means wherever they allow public to come, non-Muslims to come, and to pray. I've been to 50 Buddhist temples all over the world. I prayed. Now, who am I? I'm a Sanatani. Will they do it? Will the Archbishop go to show his faith? Will he go to a Hindu temple and pray? Because they're all fundamentalist faith. They're all monotheistic, fundamentalistic faith. They're all bent on conquering others. Correct? They don't follow what Jesus said, love their neighbor as thyself. If you love their neighbor as thyself, will you try to convert your neighbor? You will not. You will respect your neighbor, correct? That's what Jesus said. Jesus didn't say, make everybody a Christian, because the religion came only later. You understand? So,
yes,
you have these contradictions, and it is oscillating India because all of us are keeping quiet. All of us are saying, no, it doesn't exist, putting our head in the sand. And I was one of them, putting my head in the sand. I was one of them saying, no, it can't happen. Okay, they're poor people and all that, and etc. And they're doing that. So till they came after my family. They came after my family, 1 degree removed, 2 times. Came after my own family, Sri. Then the trauma of their doing that to my family hit me in my face. He said, oh my God, I'm one of the largest donors to the Jesuits in Karnataka. Okay? Because they educated me. I'm grateful to them. I respect them. I will work with them. I will help them in whatever way I can. But I can't accept this. It's very wrong. And I went and saw my family temple in Goa, destroyed by the Jesuits. The Jesuits under Francis Xavier. Because they were all part of that. and by the Inquisition. There is no history of the Inquisition taught to school children. I went and prayed at the Bomb Jesus Church where Francis Xavier body is there, not knowing he was the one who invited the Inquisition, and he was a very cruel person. Because why? We are good people. Our heart is clear. We respect people of all faiths. We respect people of all faiths because we believe every faith leads to God, whoever that God is. The God can be anybody. So we are like that. We are very liberal. We are the true liberals. These are all fundamentalists. And because we are true liberal, we accept all these people coming and hitting us. So I think it's time everybody stood up together. That's why I publicly came out on TV and supported the illegal conversion, prevention of illegal conversion bill passed by the Karnataka legislature. I did it. And I spoke and I said on TV many times that the Catholic Church is not responsible. It is true. That's the truth. The Jesuits don't do it. That's the truth. The Anglicans don't do it. That's the truth. If the pastors should do it, that is also the truth. So we must be truthful. And there's a problem. If you don't recognize the problem in society, how are you going to solve? That's why people like you in the US, you have left this country, gone away. But the day you come back, you must not find an empty country. You have an obligation, all of you, to get together. You saw what those malcontents and the extreme leftist academics did recently, right? Abusing Sanatana
Yes.
Dharma and trying to
Dismantling
destroy Sanatana
global
Dharma.
Hindutva. Yeah.
You saw what they're trying to do. I mean, do you call them
Yes.
academics? If there's an academic conference free, you must invite different opinions and debate the issue. If you invite the same echo chamber, everybody for the same thing, saying the same shit, what are you going to get? More shit. You're not going to get new knowledge. You're only going to get more shit and more rubbish. That's what they got. And that is open. They're so stupid. All of them have been now exposed for the hatred, for all the fake things that they're all on record. They've been exposed. They don't understand that, right? They were not known. Everybody knows them. They're all over the media, all over the place. So I think like that no conversion portal on Twitter, people must expose them, take photographs, put it on social media. Social media is a big boon. So it will be picked up. They must be there. And the overwhelming evidence comes out. Can anybody deny? See, the sad thing is, Lutyens media lives in denial. The Catholic Church lives in denial. The people who are converting are gloating about it in public. They're gloating, putting it on social media, putting on their webpage, saying we converted so much, we raised so much of money. Openly they're doing it. And these people are living in denial. How can you live in denial? That's the truth. It is there. And some silly fellows say, look at the census figures. Census, we know what they do. And John Dayal himself has said people are not putting it. And he's gloating. He's saying it is about 71 million in 2014. And that is about 5.84%. He says others estimate as high as 9%. 9% of 140 crores is how much? It's about 12, 13 crores, right?
Yes.
That's 120, 130 million. That's a large number. So these people are gloating about it. So see, this is a problem. There's a real problem which all of us have to face.
And yes, and again, India has several challenges. I think we just highlighted one. This is a step in the right direction, and it is our hope that Andhra Pradesh and also Tamil Nadu is also one of those places where there is rampant conversion attempts going on, and so also the Kerala, where there's a slightly different problem. But again, this kind of a law is a must-have. I can't stress enough about it. Maybe the central government will come up with a uniform law across the country, which kind of makes it more like, implementation wise, it's automatic, so that each state doesn't have to spend money and resources to try and get it passed. So thank you very much, Mohandas Pai, and we'll be back again with such interesting conversations. We do want you to comment on this. Like we said, there have been a lot of cases where, the genuine Christians, the genuine, Catholics and Jesuits, they are also getting hurt because they also are being poached upon. And I think it's up to them also to come and say, look, this is not right. If somebody wants to convert,
Sri, I would like the Archbishop, as a true Christian, to stand up and say, no other faith should be abused.
Yes.
That you cannot call other devil worshippers, idol worshippers, and abuse them. You cannot say others will go to hell. You should stand up and say that. But that's what Jesus said. I read Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. I respect Jesus as a holy person. I respect everybody. I respect Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad, for whatever it is. Will they respect our this thing? Now, I want him to stand up and say that, yes, a good Christian will never abuse people of other faiths. A good Christian will never use words like devil worshippers that, threaten people that you'll not go to heaven, etc. and all that. The good Christian will never do that. He should preach like that. That is the signs of a good Christian. That's what should be done. Sri, all of them ganged up together to protect, Bishop Franco. You know that, right? Against the poor nun.
Yes. He's still yet to see the jail.
Poor nun was thrown out of her order. That's what the reports say. Now, how can you stand up for such injustice? Christians cannot stand for such injustice, right? Now, this is the kind of injustice that's happening. If people know about it today, everybody is aware. I mean, today, the tragedy of this country is, I think one Atmananda, one person in North India was accused of rape, is still in prison, still without bail. Whereas Franco was
Asaram Bapu. You're talking about Asaram Bapu. Asaram Bapu.
Yes. Bishop Franco was treated specially. He was given all the time, treated like this. I mean, he's been accused of rape by a person of his own, not the laity, by a nun. And he's been accused. And if you don't charge the person under the law, and then many of them said, oh, these people don't come under the secular laws of India. I mean, I'm astonished at the kind of arguments people put, right? And the way they do it. I think all of us should learn to respect each other's faith. We live in a country, Sri, where our right to religion is protected by law. We live in a country where Sanatana Dharma has 110 crore people after 138. And in Sanatana Dharma, everybody has the right to their own path. Nobody will interfere. We live in a country where we as Sanatanis respect all faiths. And we'll willingly go to a church to pray, to a mosque to pray. The Allahs will do that. We'll never say, this is wrong, that is wrong against any faith. They should also follow the same path and live in peace in this country, like any one of us. Because they're not different from us, Sri. We're all the same people. Our forefathers were the same. Some took the Christian faith, some took the Muslim faith. Others remain as Sanatanis. Many were converted by the sword, by pressure. I mean, that is history. That's happened. But today, let us all live together in peace. And don't convert others. Don't go after others. Don't take foreign money. Point out all this them. Live in a stable state. Why not? Why fight this? Correct? I think we should do all this. That's the way to live in society. That is what your religion teaches you, to live peacefully.
Absolutely. And excellent last words, Mohandas Pai ji. Thank you very much and namaskar.
Namaskar.